When I was in my first year in the seminary in 1999, I went in one day to the seminary office, and there for the first time I saw a box with lots of books in it. And the deal is, if you want a book, you tick it off and pay for it, and you take it home or organize to get it paid for. And so I looked in the box, and there was lots of books there, and there was one book which was like that thick, that big, and it said what you need, I think it said something like all that you need to know about women. And I thought, wow, what a good book. It's so thick, it's great. I mean, I'm going to become a priest. It's good to learn lots of things about them, so we can know in parish life there's lots of women involved in the parish life, so it's good to know something about women. And so I was very happy. I took the book. I think it was like $12.95 or something it was. And I opened the contents to see what it is. Well, it was a blank book from start to finish. I suppose I think at the back it said, "Woman is a mystery." In today's reading, Paul is telling the community something very important. I suppose when women hear this reading, be subject to your husbands, I think all their hair at the back stands up. I mean, which woman won't be subject to her husband? He is no lord over her, but we have to read the whole of that reading, what is being instructed, what is being taught. Paul is saying, yes, wives, you be subject to the husbands, but then he goes on to say, husbands, be like Christ. Lay down your life for her. Love her. Give yourself completely to her. So you see, if you read the whole context, you'd understand that any wife will only be too willing to be subject to a man, a husband, who is ready to give his life for her. So you see, already we are told he's not lording it over her, but he's called to give his life for her, to protect her, to make sure that she is kept spotless and blameless. So often in marriages, we're finding fault with something or the other. There's some statistics shown that for every correction you make or suggestion you make to change, you've got to make 9 positive comments to that person. Then they will come to realize that yes, there's so many good things in this, it's happening, and I need to change this one thing. But so often we only fall into the trap of saying, this is wrong, that is wrong, that is wrong. We don't encourage people in all the good that they do. Now, there was once a young man who wanted to join the monastery, and he went and the superior, the abbot, said to him, you only once a year you're allowed to speak, and you can only say a few words, perhaps 2 or 3. So at the end of that first year, this young monk came to the abbot, and the abbot says, what would you like to say? And he said, too cold. And so the abbot went and got him blankets and gave him. Then the end of the next 12 months, he came back again, and the next thing he says, more soup. So the abbot made sure he got more soup. And then at the end of the 3rd year, he comes and says, I'm leaving. And the abbot says, I wonder why, from the time you've been, you've only complained. So often in our life, we forget to compliment people, especially the ones who are closest to us, to let them know that we appreciate everything they do for us. And so when we come to appreciate all that they do for us, then we can correct them and say, you could perhaps be better at this or better at that. And they will take it on board. And that goes for all relationships. So Paul is asking us to be what Christ is calling us to be in the gospel today, that mustard seed, the one that grows into the largest of shrubs, where all the birds of the air come and take shelter in it. We want to be those people in our families, where when we walk into the room or when we come, they don't say, oh my God, here he's come again, or here she's come again. We want to say, oh, it's good to be here in your presence, because you make me feel that I'm loved so much. So we ask that grace in this Eucharist that He'll have a very positive influence on others. No matter what is happening in our life, we take it to Jesus so He can help us, so that we can be Christ-like to those around us, constantly living a life as a gift to those God has sent into our lives. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.